God is both the merciful, ar-Rahman, and the compassionate, al-Raheem. What is the difference between them? Ar-Rahman, the merciful, is the one who is benevolent to all of his creation. In other words, ar-Rahman, the merciful, is the one who is merciful or benevolent in the general sense. Ar-Raheem, the compassionate, on the other hand, is the one who is benevolent in a particular sense. To clarify the difference, let's observe the following figure. There are 20 small eyes arranged in the shape of a larger eye. In other words, there are two different ways to read the letter I by looking at the figure, either by looking at a single small eye or by reading the larger eye. If we zoom in so that we're standing next to the eyes, we can still read what letter it is by looking at the eyes next to us. We don't have to look at the figure from above to read the letter, since the larger letter is the same as the smaller ones. Similarly, just as the sun shines on an ocean, it does so on every droplet of that ocean as well. That is, you don't have to look at the ocean from above to see the reflection of the sun. You can see the sun's reflection simply by looking at a single droplet. The difference between the names ar-Rahman, the merciful, and ar-Raheem, the compassionate, is somewhat similar to this analogy. We can see God's mercy and benevolence either by looking at our planet as a whole or by looking at particular beings living on the planet. When looking at the planet as a whole, we see the resemblance, conformity, order, harmony, grace, and mercy in the planning, nurturing, and management of plants and animals on the face of the earth. To think about the vast earth in this manner, however, is not always effortless for the limited human mind. For this reason, God manifests his benevolence in every particular being as well. For instance, the fact that a pony has a pair of eyes and ears, the fact that they're given a mother and a family are all manifestations of ar-Raheem, the compassionate. Also, there is a remarkable relationship between gray squirrels and oak trees, in which the trees provide squirrels with food and squirrels play a key role in the spreading of the trees. The fact that God creates food via oak trees is a benevolence to the squirrels, and the fact that squirrels play a key role in seed dispersal is a benevolence to the oak trees. As seen from these examples, ar-Raheem, the compassionate, is the one who gives special favors to particular beings on the earth by giving eyes to ponies, nuts to squirrels, and scales to fish. The name ar-Rahman, the merciful, on the other hand, is the one who takes care of the world as a whole. Notice that favors from the name ar-Rahman, the merciful, are inclusive of all beings. Every being benefits from the harmony and order in the world, while favors from the name ar-Raheem, the compassionate, is specific for particular beings and are not necessarily inclusive. Not every being has eyes. Not everyone eats nuts. Since humans are given unparalleled favors like intelligence compared to other beings, the name ar-Raheem, the compassionate, is seen in its greatest form in the humankind. Finally, there is another difference between ar-Rahman, the merciful, and ar-Raheem, the compassionate. Ar-Rahman, the merciful, does not distinguish between the living beings or between believers and non-believers when it comes to humans. Everybody benefits from this name. The name ar-Raheem, the compassionate, on the other hand, does distinguish between them, as favors that come from this name are not necessarily inclusive. In other words, he individually takes care of all beings, and every individual being is given their own personal specific needs. If the being chooses to obey God and acts under his command, he gives them special favors which other beings may not get. When it comes to humans, for instance, the name ar-Raheem, the compassionate, gives special favors to the believers as a result of their faith and submission. He gives them spiritual comfort in this world and rewards them in the afterlife for their actions and deeds. In conclusion, manifestations of the name ar-Raheem, the compassionate, appear in its greatest form in humans, and among the humans appears mostly in believers. It is for this reason that ar-Raheem, the compassionate, is usually said to apply primarily to the believers.